Hi YouTubers, I just made a couple of videos yesterday, but here comes another one because I'm thinking about it and I wanted to share some things that have helped me the last couple of days, especially and some other times too, but I wanted to share them while I'm still thinking about them, and actually I wrote them down this time and a little organized actually. Wow, what a surprise. Anyway, this morning I did go on and get on the scale, even though I keep saying that's not my measurement of things. And one of the reasons why, which shouldn't be a surprise, is because sometimes the scale just doesn't reflect the true work that you're doing. And so anyway, I got on the scale this morning and noticed I didn't really lose anything, well, very little. And actually that's been true all week. And this is week 3 for me, and scale-wise not a great week, but you know what, every otherwise it's been a great week. So first tip is, if you get discouraged, look at other ways of about your scale weight, that is, look at other ways to find the positive. And the way that I did was, again, to take measurements. Now normally I was only going to take measurements once a month, but today I was just curious because I thought, I know I'm doing things pretty well. I'm following the book pretty well, and improvising maybe only in ways that I think might be a healthier alternative to what's been suggested to me. But at any rate, I think I've been doing pretty well. So I took my measurements again and looked back at what they were. Last time I took them was 12 days ago. And sure enough, even though the scale has only budged maybe a pound, I've lost a full inch off my hips, a full inch off my abdomen, a full inch off my waist, and a half inch off of several other places. So yeah, I felt vindicated and I felt better. So that's my first tip. Find another way to measure your success other than the scale, if the scale is giving you a problem. Okay, next tip, mirrors. I've been putting up mirrors all around the house, and I've been doing this initially as part of my makeover the house project, something to do while I'm off of work for this surgery, and it's my house renovation also has to do with me going to thrift stores and donating my clothes, which I'll get to in a second. But then I feel free to go in and buy something inexpensive for the house, make it look better. Mirrors are among those things that I've been finding, and I've been putting them up around the house. It serves two purposes in my house. One is to give it a lot more light. It's not that I have a particularly dark house, but I have a hallway that's kind of dark. But my husband doesn't see very well, and it will help him to have more light in here. But it helps me because by having the mirrors wherever I can see, I can have a constant reminder of what I look like. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, first of all, I think, I'm convinced that I put on a lot of my weight because the mirrors that I was ever looking at would be the bathroom mirrors, which only showed me from here up, and it just didn't reflect the weight gain that I was having. And unlike a lot of people who think of themselves forever as being fat, I think of myself forever as being thin. The vision I have of myself was when I was much thinner. So it was easy for me to put on weight and be in total denial, because if all I looked at was just my face, I perpetuated that thought of myself as only being thin, and I didn't have any responsibility in terms of how I was looking. So I really do not want to regain any weight that I'm losing during this valuable process. But the other thing that today struck me is how to use it not only as a whip maybe to keep myself in line, but as a tool for feeling good about yourself. So today, again, when I started off with this, oh, please, really not losing anything, but then reminding myself, oh yeah, I don't really count the scale. I happened to go buy a full-length mirror, which I had just put in my hallway yesterday. And I looked at myself and I saw some things that I really liked. And I realized, you know what? I'm actually looking pretty good in the clothes that I'm in right now. And that made me happy. You know, I can really see a difference in myself, you know, of how I'm looking. And this made me really happy. So, and I wanted to say too, a few weeks ago, before I had the surgery, before I started my liquid diet, to feel good about myself, I had focused on something that I like about myself, and that happened to be my smile, my teeth. No braces here. I got lucky in a lot of ways, but I realized that my teeth were getting yellowed. You know, when you're older, your teeth starts to get yellow. So I dug through my drawers and realized I had some whitening strips that I had started on once and not used up. So I started using those, and then I started brushing my teeth, not just once or twice a day like I had before, shame on me, but several times a day after every meal. And this helped me brighten my teeth, like my smile again, and made me feel good about my dental hygiene, and it also helped me from eating unnecessarily. So my walk by the mirror today reminded me that there's my smile and I like it. And so I think it's possible to find something that you really like about yourself when you see yourself in the mirror. There's got to be something, right? So focus on that. Give yourself a pat on the back. Be grateful, you know. Don't forget to be grateful. And I'm saying this to myself, really. You can listen in while I say that to myself. I need to be grateful. I need to really focus on, you know, everything from being grateful to God or whatever's in the universe or whatever it is that speaks to you, to good genetics, to my parents for passing along some of the better traits, for having taken care of myself in certain ways that, you know, led to what I like in the mirror. There's so many different things to be grateful for, and pausing that moment in the mirror and finding things that you like about yourself helps you to find that gratitude. Okay, a couple other tips. I have enjoyed donating my clothes that I no longer wear to thrift stores. I go to a local Goodwill shop in my town. One town over, there is a senior citizens boutique and also a Salvation Army store. Those are the three go-to places that I like, and for different reasons. I donate really three different levels of things to the three different places, because they go from really kind of we'll take everything and we'll sell everything to pretty selective in what they take and what they sell. And so I have garments from, you know, that are practically new from Coldwater Creek that are higher end, and from Macy's that paid, you know, more money to. Those are going to go to the higher end boutique, and after I donate them, I feel free to shop there for higher end things. Again, usually for the house. I have plenty of clothes, I think, to last me until I'm about a size 14. Then I'll really have to start shopping. But I have so many. I have 5 sizes. Have had 6 sizes, I guess, in storage and in my closet, so I don't need to, but I will look at the clothing in case there's something spectacular that I might want to use for work. I do like their jewelry at the higher end place, and I've actually found some good jewelry at the junkier places. So that tip is take your clothing that you're no longer wearing to a thrift store, or, you know, some place where you're going to get where you can donate tax-free. Or get a tax deduction, which reminds me, make sure you get the receipt for your taxes. Make sure you take it off at tax time. What you're allowed to take off on your taxes may be more than you think. I use the program that's attached to TurboTax to list my donations, and it's incredible what it adds up to. You know, more than maybe a garage sale price for sure, and it adds up, and it helps you on your taxes. Okay, next thing, the spirometer, if you get one of those at the hospital, the incentive spirometers to breathe in, make sure your lungs are clear. I brought mine home from the hospital. They encouraged me to do so, and I have to say that I pick it up every so often to see where my lung capacity is, and what this tells me is how I'm doing with my deep breathing exercises, which in turn help me with my core strength, which in turn helps me with my strength everywhere else and with toning. Now, I want to mention this. I'm not really going to go into in depth because it's really beyond what I can put in a YouTube video. I'm not qualified, I think. But D as in dog, N as in nature, S as in Sam, DNS breathing exercises. You can look that up on YouTube and see some videos about it. I've had it at physical therapy, and they're wonderful for learning deep breathing. And as I said, core training. It just is a foundation for a whole lot of other things, but it's way more technical than I can explain. And essentially, breathing for singers and other people who, or yoga or meditators or other people who've learned anything about breathing deep and from well below your diaphragm. This is a really awesome, thing that kind of relates to the type of breathing you might already be familiar with if it's deep breathing below your diaphragm. Okay, protein drinks. I wanted to note that I have gone to a Big Lots store, and I would imagine this might be true at 99-cent or dollar stores. I was surprised at Big Lots to find protein drinks, and what I liked about that is it's an inexpensive or less expensive way to try out different flavors of protein drinks. If you're really sick and tired of the flavors you have, like I have been, or the brands that you're using, or you're not tolerating what you're using, change it up a little bit. And you don't have to feel bad or guilty or angry that you're spending so much money by getting a bottle or two of a flavor to try out at one of these discount stores. So consider that. I found several at the Big Lots store that I've been trying, and I'll review it another time. Finally, the final tip for today is go to the library, take out some books. I have 2 books. I took out several, but 2 that I'm reading now. Virgin Diet, I'm reading again for the 4th time. This has made a lot of difference to me, and even though it hypes it a little bit by saying drop 7 foods, lose 7 pounds in just 7 days. That's kind of the diet hype about it, but what I think is more important is why food intolerance is the real cause of weight gain. You know what? This book and lectures given by the author of this book have convinced me, and her name is J.J. Virgin, that she's right. It led to me going gluten-free, and when I did so, I dropped weight very easily. And felt much better, but not just gluten-free, dairy-free. Well, she's got 7 foods that she focuses on, and of those, there are 3 that I basically have stayed off of or am avoiding for the most part. Now, I am completely gluten-free, but the other things that I limit are dairy and soy, and corn, and she goes into the reasons why you should. And rather than try to repeat what she's saying, I would just say go to the library, get the book. The other book that I'm liking is The Beck Diet Solution. Again, I don't like the title so much as the subtitle. I think explains it better. I suspect the subtitles were what the authors wrote, and the titles are what the publishers wrote to sell the book. But subtitle is Train Your Brain to Think Like a Thin Person. So actually a lot of this book is filler material. The basics you can probably get in the first few pages, but I've liked reading that one. So last tip, as I said, is go to the library, look at some books. One I'm going to pick up hopefully later this week when I take these others back is a think it's like bariatric surgery cooking or something like that, for not for dummies, but one of those other similar books. Anyway, I'm curious to see what they have for foods, and I'm going to go pick that up. So that's it for today. Take care. Have a great one.